Hello, in this video, I'm going to talk about ethics in ESP and Reiki. Now, as we attune to the Reiki energy, our intuition and channels of our subtle body begin to open up, awaken, and we become portals and receptive to a lot of energy. Our spinal column is like a satellite that picks up on all things around us. And as we plug into the Reiki energy and attune to it, we become more sensitive to influence and being receptive. It's so important that when we pick up on things through our intuition, that we are plugged in with a high vibe state of consciousness, and that we adhere to good ethics in our communications with our Reiki clients. There are so many different vibrations and tones of energy. It's important that we tune into higher states of vibration and pure, ethical, good energy. Sometimes there are some lower entities, vibrations, thought patterns in our subconscious that are not serving, that are not healing, and that are actually quite destructive. So it's really, really important that when we are channeling the energy of Reiki, that we have good discernment and remain sovereign. Here's an example. Say you're working with a client and through your imagination, you download information, and maybe it is questionable. Maybe it's not of a high or good vibration. It's important when we take a moment with our client after we release the hand positions and the flow of the Reiki energy that we communicate. I always like to ask questions to my clients so that they can come to their own conclusions within themselves. For example, maybe you're doing a Reiki session and you pick up on some lower vibrations that are maybe addictions or past traumas. These things can be very sensitive matters to discuss, especially when it's not already out in communication, when you're picking up on it in your client's energy field. Appropriate ways to communicate what you're picking up on without causing shock or insult to our clients is to ask questions, or to ask and to inquire a little more before you discern the information that was channeled through you. Sometimes when energy gets channeled through us as the healers, it's just for us and it doesn't have to be disclosed to our client. Perhaps they're not ready, and we as the healer just need to work and move the energy, heal open portals and spaces, and connect our clients to their higher selves and good vibrations. Sometimes we as healers don't even have to be aware of all of these ESP and things that are happening for the energy to work. Reiki works 100% of the time. It'll never cause any harm. It can sometimes feel overwhelming, but empower your clients that they can turn the energy off and on whenever they feel a little overwhelmed as they are evolving and coming into consciousness with some of the things that are keeping them off balance in their lives. For example, let's say you are working with a client and your consciousness is getting flooded with the word alcoholism. Perhaps that is an issue that your client or the lineage of your client has had to deal with and is in the process of healing. Instead of calling the client out that, hey, maybe are you an alcoholic? Talk to them about what has come through. Tell them to discern for themselves what you share with them so that they can feel empowered with the energy. For example, you can say and remind them that as a conductor and conduit for the Reiki energy, the energy will move through you and things may come through your imagination or your thinking mental body. And it may or may not apply to them, but it is something to explore and worth asking about. So if you have the word alcoholism coming through your consciousness while you're working with a client and you feel that energy, maybe you just bring it up and let them know, hey, this came through when I was doing the Reiki session. Does it mean anything to you? Rather than accusing or sharing, oh my gosh, I think you're an alcoholic. Does that make sense? We want to hold good ethics. We want to make our clients feel safe when they open up and explore the healing energy of Reiki. Other examples of having discernment when you are experiencing ESP during your Reiki sessions. Let's say you are feeling a different energy and you can explore it, and maybe there's even a message from this energy. Perhaps your client isn't open to different states of being. Perhaps your client doesn't really want to explore energies like angels, archangels, risen dead, or ascended masters. So we need to have discernment in knowing our clients' energy, where they're at, and their openness to some of these things that come through for us as Reiki healers. Maybe, as I mentioned earlier, that message is just for you. Or maybe you feel like the client is open and ready to receive the messages that have been channeled through you. Perhaps you may see a letter or a color or see a scene, and it may not mean anything to you, but it could be very profound for your client. How do we talk to them about these things without freaking them out and having them run out the door and just really feel ungrounded in their sense of reality? It's important as Reiki practitioners that we are grounded and that we are plugged in, that when we call in the symbols, that we are opening up our spinal column and our portal of consciousness and grounding it into the earth and opening up into the mysterious. This way, when we approach these other mysteries through the imagination, that we stay grounded and we can communicate it in a scientific, appropriate, and grounded manner. That way it won't be so shocking or upsetting or confusing to our clients. Perhaps you pick up on a life from a different time, a different eternity system, a different space. These things are available when you plug into Reiki. Is it appropriate to communicate with your client on this or not? You will be guided and you will know. Trust that guidance, trust that intuition, and trust that if something is coming through, that they are most likely ready to receive it. Otherwise, you will have the discernment and you will have the knowing that they are not ready to receive it. And you will pause with that and keep that information just for yourself so you can help explore and work with your client's healing. Most people that come to Reiki are curious. They are open to other dimensions, other experiences. They're seeking more love. They're trying to understand why they may carry these experiences that are manifesting in their reality and their life that they don't understand how it manifested. We help our clients explore the subconscious. We help our clients explore their soul. And we go really, really deep into some things that may not make much sense in the current reality. Having the ethics, having the discernment and the sovereignty to explain these things to your clients, or to know the difference in when to explain it and share it with your clients, ask inquisitive questions, or to discern it and keep that information for yourself as you continue to work with this client. It's very important that you are getting your own healing and doing your own self-healing practices, especially when you are just initiating into the Reiki healing energy. Level 1 truly is about working on self. So when things come up and the imagination invites new states of consciousness into your aura, your being, your thought processes, just have discernment and ask where that information is coming from. There are low vibes and high vibes, good energy and bad energy. And as Reiki practitioners and healers in our self-treatments and when we treat others, we want to ensure that we are plugged in and collaborating with higher vibrations and higher energies and ethics. This is when a lot of the Reiki symbols can come in and help shield and protect the energy field and protect the mental openings and channels so that we can receive information from only the high and the good vibrations. Thank you for watching this video. I look forward to exploring more with you into the subtle bodies and the intuition processes that evolve as we attune to the Reiki energy. Remember to keep your ethics in good vibrations, even if something kind of disturbing comes through your energy field as you're working with a client. It's important to stay sovereign with that energy. If you help and feel they're open, communicate and explore with them on what came through and help them to support an energetic release. Remember that in the present moment and in the presence of Reiki, the client and you, if you're exploring an attunement with Reiki, are protected, that you don't have to relive trauma or emotional challenges from past circumstances that may have happened in this life or perhaps other existences and experiences of your soul. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.